Welcome to Brief Screen. In this video I will explain a suspense film called Quiet Place, Day 1. Now that we've set the stage, let's dive into the heart of the film and explore what makes Quiet Place a must-watch. The film opens with a note indicating that New York City's average noise level is 90 decibels, akin to a constant scream. The scene transitions to a hospice where we meet Sam, the protagonist, and her therapy cat, Frodo. Sam, a cancer patient, is involved in a group therapy session and excitedly announces she has written a poem, which generates enthusiasm among the group. However, she quickly criticizes the hospice and the people around her, causing discomfort among the attendees. Despite the awkwardness, caretaker Ruben praises her for her honesty and thanks her. Later, Ruben privately talks to Sam and reveals that he has organized a small outing for the patients to a theater in Manhattan. Sam is reluctant, as she has a strong dislike for the city, but Ruben persuades her with the promise of pizza. After this conversation, Sam returns to her room to feed Frodo and apply anesthetic patches to manage her pain, which is essential for her survival. In the next scene, Ruben takes the patients to a theater for a puppet show. There, Sam makes friends with Henry and his young son, who is thrilled to meet Frodo. Although Sam seems to enjoy the show initially, she soon becomes emotional and starts to cry. After the performance, Sam leaves the theater and finds Ruben, who has just finished a phone call and appears troubled. He informs her that an urgent situation has arisen and they need to return to the hospice immediately. Sam is upset because Ruben had promised her pizza. She insists she won't leave without it, leading to an argument. When Ruben claims he's merely trying to be a friend, Sam bluntly responds that they are not friends. Sam boards the bus and sees several patients huddled at the back, watching something horrifying unfold outside. Before she can fully grasp the situation, a meteor-like object crashes to the ground right in front of them. Shortly after, hostile alien creatures emerge and begin attacking the city. The area is soon engulfed in dust, and Sam can see aliens consuming people in the distance. Amidst the chaos, she is thrown against a wall and loses consciousness. When she wakes up, she finds herself inside the theater. Henry quickly covers her mouth and motions for silence, explaining that the aliens are blind but have an acute sense of hearing, making them deadly hunters. Sam realizes that Henry has saved her and quietly expresses her gratitude. She then spots Ruben among the survivors, and they both feel a sense of relief upon seeing each other alive. Soon, Sam notices Frodo in the distance, having survived as well. She tries to reach the cat, but Frodo accidentally nudges a bell, drawing an alien's attention. Just as it seems they will be attacked, helicopters begin to fly overhead, and their noise diverts the alien's focus, causing it to move away. Military helicopters announce that civilians should stay silent and hidden until they can be rescued. Sam watches as the bridges out of Manhattan are bombed to prevent the aliens from escaping, as they are unable to swim. This leaves the survivors trapped with no way to leave the city. A man suddenly panics, declaring that they are all doomed and will soon die. Henry grabs him and tries to silence him to prevent attracting the aliens. When the man continues to make noise, Henry, in a desperate move, hits his head against the wall, accidentally killing him. In the next scene, Sam uses a notebook to communicate with Ruben. Ruben attempts to come up with a plan to return to the hospice, but Sam insists on going to Patsy's Pizza. Ruben initially laughs at this, but soon realizes she is serious. Just then, the theater's backup generator starts making extremely loud noises, causing widespread panic among the survivors. Ruben and Sam hurry downstairs to turn it off. Although Ruben manages to stop the noise, he tears his shirt in the process, attracting an alien that brutally kills him. After this traumatic event, Sam is left devastated. Her only friend in the city has been violently killed right before her eyes. Despite her grief, Sam remains determined to visit Patsy's Pizza, which she feels is the most important thing to do. The next morning, she and Frodo head to Harlem. On their way, Sam encounters two frightened children, whom she comforts and offers her candy to soothe their fears. Soon after, the military announces plans to evacuate civilians from South Street Seaport by boat, as the creatures cannot swim. This news gives the survivors hope, and they rush towards the evacuation point. Unfortunately, the aliens are quickly alerted by the commotion and begin attacking people. The city plunges into chaos, and Sam gets separated from Frodo. She narrowly escapes being trampled and takes cover under a car for safety. As the chaos subsides, Frodo is seen wandering the streets in search of water. He encounters another survivor named Eric, who is in a large puddle and appears to be having a panic attack. At this moment, Sam finds her cat and holds him tightly, tearfully relieved. Determined to continue, Sam presses on despite the constant danger. Eric, not wanting to be alone, decides to follow her. Soon, it starts to rain, allowing them to converse quietly. Sam suggests Eric head in the opposite direction to find a boat for escape, but he, frightened, insists on staying with her. They eventually reach Sam's apartment, only to find the door locked. Sam instructs Eric to kick it open when lightning strikes. The plan succeeds, and they manage to get inside. While Sam searches for her medications, they formally introduce themselves. Eric discloses that he is a British student studying law in New York. Sam opens up to Eric about her cancer and her limited time left to live. She shares her wish to visit Patsy's Pizza before she dies. Hearing this, Eric feels sympathy for her and offers to join her on the trip to the pizzeria. Sam tries to convey the danger involved, but he remains adamant about accompanying her. As they talk, Eric discovers a book of poetry by Sam, revealing that she is a published author. He also learns from her poems that her father was a pianist. As the storm intensifies with more lightning and thunder, the two begin to scream, letting out their pent-up frustrations. The next morning, Sam rises early and heads to Harlem with Frodo. It isn't long before Eric finds them, and she reluctantly agrees to let him come along. While they try to move quietly through the streets, they accidentally make a noise that draws a swarm of aliens, who start pursuing them relentlessly. The trio seeks shelter inside a building, but the aliens find them there as well. Fortunately, Eric devises a clever plan. He sneaks outside and throws a rock at a car window, setting off the alarm and momentarily distracting the aliens. Afterward, Sam and Eric make their way into a subway tunnel, which is strewn with blood and debris. They discover that a collapse has disrupted the train system, leading to flooding in the tunnel. With no other options, they wade through the murky water and follow the makeshift river. Soon, an alien descends from a collapsed section of the ceiling, searching the tunnel for survivors. As Eric, submerged up to his neck in water, begins to panic, Sam tries to keep him quiet. However, the alien hears their noise and starts pursuing them. Luckily, the tunnel's exit is filled with water, causing the alien to drown. The pair manages to escape with Frodo and eventually reach a church. Shortly after, Sam starts feeling very ill and urgently needs her medication for pain relief. Concerned, Eric asks for the names of her medicines. Once he has the details, he heads out on his own to find a pharmacy. He soon locates one and secures her anesthetic patches. On his way back, Eric is briefly startled by a presence, but it turns out to be the cheeky cat. After some time, they arrive at the burning remains of a building that has been completely overtaken by the aliens. Eric starts to panic once more, but the resourceful cat leads him out of danger. They return to the church with Sam's anesthetic patches, providing her with much needed relief. Soon after, Sam explains the true reason behind her fixation with Patsy's Pizza. She recounts how her father used to take her to a jazz club where he played piano, and they would always visit Patsy's Pizza afterward, which was nearby. Sam expresses her desire to relive this cherished childhood memory one last time before she dies. When Eric inquires about her father, she reveals that he passed away many years ago. The next day, the trio sets out again to find Patsy's Pizza. Upon arrival, they discover that the restaurant's windows are shattered and its facade is damaged. Sam and Eric sit quietly for a moment, embracing each other in tears. Eric then suggests they visit the old jazz club where Sam's father used to perform, and she agrees. Once there, Eric asks her to wait and goes off to search for leftover pizza in nearby eateries. He eventually manages to find a pizza and labels the box with Patsy's. Returning to the jazz club, he shares it with Sam, bringing her immense joy. The three of them enjoy the leftover pizza together, and Eric also entertains Sam by dancing and performing a card trick. After this poignant moment, they go outside to see a boat carrying survivors departing from the dock. With the aliens unable to swim, they are desperately scouring the city for any remaining humans. Realizing this, Sam hands her yellow cardigan and Frodo to Eric, clearly wanting them to survive even if she may not. Eric, understanding her gesture, breaks down in tears. Sam encourages him to be courageous and sets off to create a diversion. She runs in the opposite direction, smashing car windows to attract the aliens' attention. Moments later, Eric finally rises and rushes towards the docks. He accidentally kicks a rock, making a noise that draws the aliens' attention. Just as they are about to catch him, he leaps into the water with Frodo. It turns out Henry is on one of the departing boats and spots them just in time to stop the boat and let them climb aboard. After this close call, Eric finds a farewell letter from Sam in the cardigan pocket. In it, she asks him to care for Frodo and thanks him for making her feel alive and free for the first time in years. She expresses her deep gratitude for taking her to a place that held cherished memories of her father. In the final scene, Sam stands in front of the charred remains of Patsy's Pizzeria. She takes a last look at a photo of herself with her father, who is wearing the same yellow cardigan. Then, she wanders into the street, listening to music with a sense of freedom. Moments later, she deliberately removes her earphone jack, and an alien swiftly appears behind her. The film ends before revealing Sam's final fate.